All right, Harry, we got a comment from a subscriber. It says, does God exist only in our thoughts? What would you say to somebody who says that?
Well, I really like the question because that is really where it starts. It starts in our mind because we're talking about people that weren't raised in the faith. So people raised in the faith, then of course you have what you've been taught over the years. But outside of that, I think everybody has that question in their mind. Is there a God? Because in the media and what you read and conversations and all that,
Yeah,
everybody,
eventually, once or twice throughout your life, you're going to come to that fork
yeah.
in the road type thing and decide, hey, is there a God or not?
Yeah, and I think pretty well everybody's had multiple experiences with that question. So it exists in our mind. That's where it starts. But then if we're serious about it, then we have to ask, say, Lord, if you're real, reveal yourself to me. And if you're serious and you're honest, he will do that. And you will find him if you're serious about looking for him. If it's something you want to if it's just conversation, then don't expect much because God is real. He is as real, he's as real as you and I are,
Mm-hmm.
because he is the one that made us. God, the God of creation that we read about in Genesis. He created heaven and earth. He created the trees and
The
the
fish in
animals,
the sea, the animals on the
everything.
land, it goes into great extent.
Exactly. For example, if you have a man that makes a wheelbarrow, is the man more real than the wheelbarrow? And I think so, because the creator is more real than the created. And
Mm-hmm.
so is God real? Very much so. We wouldn't be able to have trees and elephants and all that stuff around us, and we wouldn't be able to move our fingers and our toes and our nose and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. So he did create us, and he is real. But a lot of people, they struggle with that question. And there's three kinds of people in my mind. There's those that think of God as a concept, and that is really, really common, that we think of God as a concept. I would say 50% of churchgoers, they think of God as a concept, that it's a concept we have to kind of relate to. And if we, and at the end of time, this concept works, and this concept God will invite us to heaven, and it's all works out nice and stuff like that.
They
But
don't
we're
really get to truly know the God. It's
no,
just a concept. The concept that, yes, God does exist, but they don't have that passion or relationship to
no,
eagerly seek God.
they're not connected. They're just basically singing the hymns and putting in a bit of coin and feeling good about God and feeling good about heaven and so on. But they're not really hooked at the hip to somebody real, a creator God in our life, because we're Christian now. The New Testament, we're Jesus is the answer, and Jesus is the one that is the ladder to heaven, and he's real. He changes our life. He gives us a new nature and all those things, but that's only for those that actually see him as real. So those are two. Some people are concept people, believe God's a concept. Then you and I, we believe he's real, we experience him and so on. And then there's the third group, and there's kind of the genie group that look to God for, if I have a problem, I just call on God. I mean, he's there to fix my mortgage, he's there to fix my car, he's there to fix my relationship, he's there to fix all these things. But we just look at him as being our, like our
It's
genie.
like it's the atheist who's like getting a job, like, oh, I hope God blesses me with this job, even though they totally don't believe that type of concept. The genie God, like, he's only there when I need something. It's like
Yeah, yeah,
it's exactly like what the person's saying. It's only in the thoughts. It exists in the thought
yeah.
only.
Right, but it's a different God, okay? The genie God is there to bless us, okay? So it's not so much, but also many, many church people have a genie God, like he's there to just to make me feel better and to do
Mm-hmm.
good things to me and to serve me. But the real God, the Jesus God, that is a God that we serve. He doesn't serve, well, he serves us too. He's good to us, but we are to serve him, and we serve our fellow man. See, if we're truly, truly walking with Jesus, then we serve both ways. We serve our Lord Jesus, and we serve our fellow man. but it seems like a pretty low life, but it isn't. It's beautiful because there's a pedestal he puts us on, and it feels really, really good. Like we're not, even though our job is to serve others, there's a real joy in that. He gives us a new nature, and that nature does it by nature. Like, the sheep, if he gives us a sheep nature, we are used to serving, we enjoy serving, and it's not hard. And there's a joy and a peace, and it's so wonderful to be in that particular location. So there is a real, so bottom line, there is a real God, the creator God, God the Father, and his son Jesus, who was there at creation with him. And we have two choices. We can either reject him or treat him in a less way, or we can worship him. If we worship him, then we have the real God, and he walks with us and gives us what we're looking for. Or we can expect him to serve us. Doesn't turn out that well.
No, I agree. Thanks, Harry.
Thank you.